What's going on, Fast and Furious fans? Ryan O'Toole back here again, giving you guys another ranking video. If you guys are new here, feel free to click that subscribe button and that bell notification icon for more reviews, reactions, rankings, and more movie content. F9 drives its way down the highway into theaters this weekend, and with the release of F9 The Fast Saga, the technically 10th film in the Fast and Furious franchise if you count Hobbs Shaw, it's time for me to rank all 10 Fast and Furious movies from worst to best. This franchise has a long history. It started off with just street racing, stealing DVDs, then it moved its way up to heist movies, and now they're big superhero blockbuster action films full of adrenaline, just everything you come to imagine throughout 20 years. Be sure to leave me your ranking of all the Fast and Furious movies down below in the comment section. Now, there are diehard fans of this franchise. I am not a diehard fan, so there are some movies on your ranking that are going to be higher than mine, so know that going in. This is my list overall. Respect each other's opinions because film is subjective, okay? We can either love a movie or hate a movie. It's all subjective, guys. Without further ado, let's begin.
Look back.
The Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift.
Probably still the black sheep of the Fast and Furious franchise with Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. This movie, it takes place after Fast and Furious 6, and audience members had no idea to expect from that. You have a pretty generic lead character with Sean Boswell, played by Lucas Black. He's a messed up high schooler, even though Lucas Black looks like he's 35. He gets in trouble a lot. His mother's had enough of him, sends him to Tokyo to live with his estranged father, and he comes across the gangs of drifting and street racing. And here he meets the Yakuzas, who are the villains in here, and also Han. Fans of Tokyo Drift are wondering why this is my least favorite. I do not like this movie. I do not like any of the characters besides Han. I really didn't like Sean Boswell at all. Bow Wow was pretty annoying, and the love interest was so cliche. This movie kind of feels pointless now, especially where the franchise has led up to with F9, and the ending with Dominic Toretto's cameo was just like, okay.
We on the loop. Not today.
The newest Fast and Furious movie, F9 The Fast Saga. That's a dumb title. Let's just call it Fast and Furious 9. I just reviewed this movie. You can go check out my in-depth review, spoiler-free. This is the same exact Fast and Furious film we have gotten for over the past 6 to 7 years. It was so jumbled. It was such a mess. Like, the first act of the film is probably the most interesting part of the film. The action was pretty cool, but every other subplot after that was just like WTF. We just find out now that Dom has a brother. Like, he never even mentioned once that he had a brother in the rest of the franchise. And they resurrect characters. Like, this franchise is known to resurrect its characters, like Letty. And Han is resurrected. Like, they spoiled that in the trailers. Like, and action galore are so WTF, and things we've seen in trailers are finally shown in here. I'm like, this is where this franchise has come. Really dumb and stupid. This movie is so frustrating in the final act galore. You're not even entertained or shocked with what's happening. There are other Fast and Furious films that are more entertaining than this one. This one is the most frustrating to watch. This is Fast and Furious 4. The first Fast and Furious was the Fast and the Furious. Why is this called Fast and Furious? You should have just said Fast and Furious 4. Anyway, I have this one a little higher than the general consensus. Now, I enjoy some aspects of Fast and Furious 4, like Dominic Toretto's eventual realization after Letty's supposed death. Dom becomes a little bit more of an interesting character, going on a darker path. And you have Brian O'Connor going back to the FBI. They really don't explain that. And they're facing off against this drug lord in Braga. Braga was a pretty forgettable villain. This also introduced Giselle, Gal Gadot's character. Some of the racing scenes were fun, like in the underground tunnel. But other than that, Fast and Furious 4 is pretty forgettable. This is like the most forgettable Fast and Furious movie. And I can understand why it's people's least favorite. It's not really anything exciting at all. Probably the most overhated Fast and Furious film in my opinion, Too Fast, Too Furious. I find this to be the guilty pleasure of the franchise. It's not a good movie at all. But you know why I enjoy Too Fast, Too Furious? It's because of Brian O'Connor and Roman Pierce. Paul Walker and Tyrese Gibson have such great on-screen chemistry. They have a really great bromance in here. Brian's basically trying to stay under the radar from the police, and he comes across these street racers, his childhood friend Roman Pierce, trying to track down a drug lord. And the villain in this movie's terrible, really bad, but you got Eva Mendes in here. Other than that, Too Fast, Too Furious really isn't that great of a movie, but I just love the bromance with Tyrese Gibson and Paul Walker. They become some of my favorite characters in the franchise, and it's just entertaining. It knows what it is. It's full of dumb jokes and comedy, but it's just so entertaining.
We're gonna need a bigger truck.
I thought the franchise should have ended after 7, but they made an 8th installment with The Fate of the Furious. Directed by F. Gary Gray, who did Straight Outta Compton. Great director. Don't know why he did a Fast and Furious film. The thing I do appreciate that Fate of the Furious dived into was going against your family, and Dom in here is forced to go rogue and be the bad guy, the villain. It presents making tough choices, especially for Dom in this movie, who becomes an even more interesting character, having to make that tough decision of going against his family and going rogue, joining the bad guy Cypher, Charlize Theron. Charlize Theron is a pretty interesting villain in here. I do enjoy Cypher more than most, and the family aspects in here are pretty much all over the place. This is the craziest Fast and Furious film next to 9. Like, we go to submarines and orange Lamborghinis and everything, and cars being controlled and hacked by Cypher. It's just so messy. The script just doesn't know how to balance everything. Before we get to the top 5 of my Fast and Furious ranking, if this is your guys' first time checking out the channel and you're enjoying this video so far, definitely hit that like button. Consider clicking that subscribe button for more ranking videos like this, more movie reviews, and more live Q&As. Movies are the biggest part of this channel. If you love movies, you're definitely in that right place. Hit the like and subscribe button and join this awesome community. The film that started this 20-year-long franchise, The Fast and the Furious. Now, this one is a beloved film, because I get it, it started the franchise, but for me, what docks this a few spots is the Point Break similarities. Point Break, that's what this movie is. It's the same plot, same character, same story, but you introduce some iconic characters with Dominic Toretto and Brian O'Connor. Of course, it started with street racing, and Brian and Dom are street racing, and they form this bromance, the start of the family. And it's all about earning respect, joining family, and the reveal at the end when they find out that Brian's a cop, it sends it on a downward path. And then just the final moments of the film where you got Paul Walker's character, Brian O'Connor, letting Toretto go, starting this brotherhood. It's definitely respectable. This is the most respectable Fast and Furious film. It started the franchise. It's become a big blockbuster franchise because of this film, and it's worth respecting. The only spin-off in the franchise, Hobbs and Shaw. Hobbs Shaw was a pretty dumb, stupid, entertaining movie. Some of the better characters in the franchise with Luke Hobbs, Dwayne Johnson, and Deckard Shaw, Jason Statham. These two have great button of heads and relationship chemistry together. It's kind of like that cute married couple. They're just reenacting these insult videos on YouTube. They're just throwing out the most funny and memorable insults at each other in the first half of the film. Idris Elba is a pretty great villain in here. And you also get introduced to Deckard Shaw's sister, Hattie, played by Vanessa Kirby, who is gorgeous and kick-ass in the film. And this was our first Fast and Furious spinoff, and we're getting a Hobbs & Shaw 2, which I'm looking forward to. Again, this is the Fast and Furious franchise. You just sit with a tub of popcorn, enjoy some stupid, dumb moments like The Rock pretty much dragging and throwing around a helicopter. And you get introduced to Hobbs' family in here. That was some pretty funny moments. And it's just really fun. Fast and Furious 6 was a really well-directed action movie. This movie, Justin Lin did such a great job directing the action in here. I love that it takes place in London. Picking up after the events of Fast 5, you got Hobbs in the end credit scene, seeing the photo of Letty, and this new dangerous crew led by Owen Shaw. Luke Evans is a really great villain in here. And the crew have to stop Owen Shaw and his crew. And part of his crew is a resurrected Letty. Letty survived the car crash. They explain the events of how she survived, and it's pretty crazy how she survived, if I'm being honest. That final action sequence on this huge long runway, probably the biggest runway I have ever seen in an airport. It's pretty entertaining, and you get characters like Han and Giselle and their romance come to an end with Giselle's death. How did she die? It looks like she didn't even fall that high. It looks like she fell like 10 feet. That wasn't even long. But anyway, I did enjoy some of the moments in here, some of the action. Owen Shaw's story's interesting. Furious 7 would be my favorite. This is the most emotional, the most engaging, and serious Fast and Furious film to date. To get the positives out of the way, Furious 7 has the best villain in the series with Deckard Shaw, Jason Statham. He actually feels like a villain, a true threat of a villain to face off against in here. And this crew dealing with some really big hits, like Dom losing his house, and Han as well in the process. We also get introduced to Kurt Russell's character, Mr. Nobody, explaining the God's Eye, and Ramsey, played by Nathalie Emmanuel from Game of Thrones. And it's introducing new tech elements, which I did enjoy. But Furious 7 has the most emotional ending by far. Rest in peace, Paul Walker. The sending off to Brian O'Connor's character. This is where the franchise should have ended, honestly. A great ending to the character. It actually felt like a conclusive ending. Now, why is Furious 7 at number 2? One of my big issues is Hobbs' involvement. He has an awesome fight sequence in the beginning, gets hospitalized, and then The Rock shows up in the final act. The Rock really made this franchise better, if I'm being honest, and his character was definitely missed. After watching Furious 7 last night, I forgot, and then once Hobbs shows up, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot Hobbs was in this movie. Furious 7 is right on par with my number 1. Did you really expect any other film other than Fast 5? Fast 5 is the best film in the franchise, easily. The film has a great opening, breaking Dom out of prison, like flipping over the bus, Brian O'Connor going against being a cop, them hiding out in Brazil, kind of felt similar to the Incredible Hulk there, and you got Hobbs, Dwayne Johnson, being introduced in the franchise. What an entrance The Rock makes in here. The action in here is incredible, like the opening one with the bus is amazing, and of course the bank vault sequence driving from the cops. And my favorite scene is actually Dom versus Hobbs, the fist fight they have. That was brutal, man. Oh my god. Vin Diesel and The Rock, two alpha male strong personalities. Like, that's just awesome. This felt like the first Avengers movie before the actual Avengers film came out in 2012. This was 2011. This was awesome. I love the characters in here, the action, and it's just so well directed of an action film. Easily, Fast 5 is my favorite Fast and Furious film. There you have it, guys. That was my ranking for all 10 Fast and Furious movies. Did you agree with my list? You probably don't. Let me know your list down below in the comments, and let's have a great time talking about Fast and Furious. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for watching. All my social media links are in the description below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.